So what are we gonna do now?
I'm gonna grind this a little bit deeper. So this is already with 3 layers, like 1800 grams. We're gonna make it a little bit deeper, and then we're gonna grind it more out and put more layers on.
Let's do this.
Woo! Grinding, it's not only grinding, we have to go as deep as possible. So what we're gonna do is we check the boat, and you will see that I grind it like 3 millimeter to 0. I don't know if you can film this good, but you see it, eh?
I think you can see it.
So that's the idea.
What does 0 mean?
Yeah, we call it feathering. So here it's 3 millimeter. We want to have it here the thickest, because this is the repair. But you cannot have it here too thick, because then it sticks out. So you go from 0 to -3. And let's tell that every layer it's 0.3 of a centimeter. So some 1 millimeter. Let's tell it like this. We need 4 layers for 4 millimeters. And I do the same like this. Oh, I bend it in the shape of the boat. And then you will see that it's from 0 -4.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Here again, you have to see it like this.
Still on the other side with the sun.
Here is a little bit high. And from the inside we're gonna put the whole from here till here, also from the inside, stronger than ever.
We're gonna try to do as much as possible after repair with matting, because everything that you don't do with matting you have to fill up with epoxy, and just only epoxy is just not very strong. Also, you'll see that Rolf is doing the majority of the work because he can just do this better than me. I'm learning it now, and then in the future I can do it myself. Next one. Last one. Let's do this. Let's get her back in the water. Oh yeah, electricity. I'm taking the delamination out now. Delamination is when the fiberglass mat doesn't stick anymore to the core material, and then it just isn't strong anymore, the construction. So what likely has happened here is that the container smashed against this side of the hull, and then a strip of fiberglass popped loose from the core material. So I'm taking that out now. Here I'm taking away any residue that is still on the core material. The core material of this boat is balsa. I would have preferred to have a closed cell like PVC or like the Vinicel, but it is what it is. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking the edges away, like the old matting. There's still an edge around it, and before putting on the new matting, you want the whole surface to be smooth, like Rolf explained earlier. So here I'm bringing the existing fiberglass matting of the boat to the same level or deepness, however you want to call it, of the core material, at least up until 3 centimeter or approximately an inch above, below, and right and left of the core material. He's gonna finish it off. I want to take a quick moment to thank all of you guys for watching, and a special thanks to all of the patrons, the upper tier patrons on the wall of the boat. Thank you guys. Without all of you, this would not have been possible. Let's continue the video. wanted to film this one from the beginning, but we were working there and he ran on this side. And it was like, wow, we're already working on the outside now. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
Oh, you tell that I work too hard? Hartstikke mooi, klaar.
Before continuing, we're gonna clean everything nicely again and then cut the new matting for the outside of the boat. And then continue clean.
Everything is sticky.
Everything is sticky. Then we hang up a piece of plastic to draw the shape of fiberglass matting that we want. I'm cutting 2 layers of biaxial fiberglass matting, which is 45 degrees, and 1 layer of roving, which is 90 degrees. So we had the epoxy for a couple hours in the fridge. That will hopefully give a little bit more time when we put it on the outside of the boat in the sun. It's already afternoon, so it's not as hot as it was, but it goes so fast. While Rolf is doing that, rolling it in, I'm gonna make a tiny mix of silica. Before putting on a matting with a mix of normal epoxy and hardener, there are still a few gaps to be filled, like you see on the top, in between the color difference of the dark middle piece and the lighter fiberglass around it. We fill that up with thickened epoxy, with epoxy hardener and silica, and then we continue with normal mix of epoxy and hardener to put the matting on. These are 3 mats on top of each other, just like we did with the keel repair. So we use a PVC sheet where we roll both sides of mat number 1, or the first mat, in epoxy. Then the second mat, we roll the second mat, both sides in epoxy, stick the second mat on top of the first mat, and then roll the second mat into the first mat. And then do the same with the third mat. Roll the third mat, both sides in epoxy, put the third mat on the first and second mat, and roll the third mat into the first 2 mats. And then roll all of that together and now we're putting it on the boat.
Action. So you already feel that it's a nice solid repair. So we have the fibers from up till down, from left till right, and from 45 degrees. So we can handle all forces. If this is ready, we're gonna concentrate on the inside of the boat. This was only the outside.
It's not even a big hole. Probably the biggest hole I've ever seen in a boat. Next one. Again, just like we did before, first with thickened epoxy, so epoxy hardener and silica powder, a mix of a substance of the thickness of peanut butter. We fill up any uneven part there still is, or any tiny gap there might be. Then normal epoxy hardener on it, and then the matting. Last, I'm cleaning up the epoxy that dripped on the hull, because it's a whole lot easier to do it right now than tomorrow when it dried up and when I have to sand it off. That's it for now. Thank you guys for joining on this process of getting her back into the water, and I'll see you next week.